In today's video, I'm going to break down the exact protocol and the exact steps that we took to turn the raw data into actionable insights for a tech company that decreased their churn by half, actually increased their retention by half, right? And I'm gonna go and give you the exact protocols, the exact frameworks, the exact steps that we took, and how we overall do it. Now, why should you even listen to me? Well, we drove way over plus 10 million in revenue, my and my team at Astella, bridging the gap between business and data, and turning the raw data into actionable insights, implementing data analytical infrastructures, end-to-end systems, building data stacks for organizations, right? And we started, and I haven't started in a traditional route. I started as a sales rep, then going to I became a basically the revenue operations director at a capital raising firm, and then I moved into data engineering and analytics, right? Basically, this is one of our competitive edge because we are able to bridge the gap between commercial side, okay, business side, and of course data side as well. And we build multiple various data analytical infrastructures, data stacks, analytical dashboards, and so on and so forth, achieving 100% adoption rate all across the board, right? And now the goal is just to help organizations try to become more data driven, okay, utilize data more effectively. Now, here's some of the case studies. Basically, here's the deal flow. It's a marketplace for staffing and recruiting sales reps for technological companies, right? Basically, they were facing dispersed data sources all across their enterprise, and we were able to generate way over plus 10 million in sales under 12 months just by getting them insights, visibility, and finally they were able to rely on their data in their sales department and all across the board. And here's some of the reviews. Here is also proof from the CEO and the founder, so you're able to see 11 million in sales. Other proofs and case studies which you can check down below as well. I'm going to link down some articles. Now, actionable insights and metrics are not equal. Many companies track surface level metrics like vanity metrics like close rates, churn rates, and they think that they are data driven. Well, unfortunately, they are not, right? Actionable insights is something that provides and recommends, basically forces you to take an action. Insights are basically very specific and they are interesting and informative, and majority of times you haven't been even aware of they existed, and they can be utilized automatically in your decision making process and of course in your problem solving process, meaning you can take action on top of it. Now, what are they consist of? Basically, they are very specific, they're relevant, clear, and understandable, meaning you don't need to have any other information after you find them out. Supported by evidence, okay, the data, timely, feasible, and measurable, right? These are all the key stuff that combine and basically define actionable insights, right? And I say you actually don't need metrics and data. You actually need actionable insights, because at the end of the day, you watching this, if you're an organization, business, an executive, you actually don't care about data and insights. You only want to see a basic part. You don't care about KPIs and surface level metrics. You only care about insights that can utilize in your day-to-day jobs. You're able to achieve success and produce business outcomes, right? And in this video, if you're watching this, you're in the correct place. Now, what we did is, as I said, we conducted this report, and these are the findings that we found out, right? Let's say our analysts were able to find out this, and I'm gonna showcase you the exact findings and the insights and actionable insights of how this looks like. And at the end, I'm going to go through the process of how you can achieve this. Now, we started basically, this is the exact KPIs and the insights that we utilized and found out for a tech company. Basically, here's the exact first slide. Basically, we understood that there's around 1.2 million in annual costs, which is around 18% of potential yearly revenue you're lost by bad churn, right? Basically, the cost, like a financial impact of the churn, right? And this is the first slide, because just to understand the importance of the problems you're solving. Now, here's the insight that we found out. First insight: churn is the highest amongst customers who disengage during the post-onboarding phase. Why is it important? Well, marketing plays a critical role in nurturing process customers and to maintain engagement, hire, and reinforce the value. Questions in the answers: well, where are we losing the customers in the customer journey, and how can we address this? And what actions can we take? Well, we can design email nurturing campaigns for 30 to 90 days to personalize to increase the adoption. We can create targeted in-app messages to encourage further future exploration. We can implement loyalty building campaigns and so on and so forth, right? You get the point. And as you can see here, this is very, very important, because this stuff that I'm going to go through all basically provided value to cut their churn in half. And same for all the big corporations that you're looking up to, like Slack, Salesforce, and so on and so forth. They all did this, right? Basically, and the second one, let's say, basically you get the structure. This is the insight. Why is it important? Questions and answers, and the actions to take. And this is the exact report that we actually delivered to the company and presented it to their stakeholders, executives, whoever we built it for, right? The next one, let's say, I'm not gonna go through each one of them because it's gonna take 10 years to go through, but I'm gonna go through the most important ones. Customers with low engagement in the first 30 days are free likely more to churn. Super important. Like you cannot find this insight if you're just tracking your normal tools. Let's say if you have your amplitude, if you have your mix panel, if you have your Hotjar, if you have your spreadsheets, if you have your Google Ads, and if you look at them just one by one, you cannot find this. It's impossible to find this because it will either take you time, you need to have expertise in business and data, and you need to have everything centralized to find it and segment it correctly. You cannot find it just by you having data all across all across your whole enterprise. And why is it important? Basically, the onboarding period is critical for any tech company. Questions and answers: how can onboarding success reduce churn? Right? How can we improve onboarding to reduce churn? And actions to take: revamp onboarding with personalized walkthroughs, the tutorials, introduce gamifications or rewards, collect feedback, low engagements, and so on and so forth. Basically, actions are the things that we collaborate on so we are able to achieve the end result they are able to take. Now, let me just go, pardon, these are the steps. I'm not going to go through the steps right now. Top tier customers, 20% of the revenue, churn at 25% higher rate due to the unmet feature requests and misaligned roadmaps, right? This is very, very huge, right? Because 20% of your top tier customers, it means that they are either enterprise, your pro subscriptions, whatever it is, churn highest, and this is very key. Now, here's one more. Churn customers experience 24% slower load times during peak usage compared to retained customers. Like, you cannot find this type of stuff anywhere else. You get me? Let's see another one. Churn is the highest amongst customers disengaged during the post-onboarding phase, right? Let's see if there's any one. I'm trying to find one from the API that we used. Here it is. Customers integrating with API have 50% lower churn rate than those relying solely on the native interfaces. Like this could be like, let's say, common sense for a lot of tech organizations. Like, yeah, of course, if you're utilizing API, they are of course not going to churn, right? But if you have a specific product, let's say if you're an API-based product, this is very key because you're like you know now if somebody is using the API, they're gonna probably stay twice as longer, right? And I say just by this alone insight, you can take certain actions that you can get more customers utilizing API. If you have like a developer product or so forth, or if you can improve your API more and more better, so they can just stay on it, right? And so on and so forth, right? You get the point. Now, how did we achieve all of these results, right? How did we achieve this? Let me just try to find the exact steps. Now, the first steps is we define the objectives. We need to understand the clear roadmap of what we want to achieve. You need to conduct the data strategy. If you don't know what the data strategy is, I'm going to link down below a couple of videos. Here is also the slide deck that you can check it up of the macro version of how to do this. But basically, you need to interview the stakeholders, executives, yourself watching this. Basically, whoever is in the department who is going to be using data analytics to achieve business outcomes, right? You need to conduct certain audits, certain correct interviews of what business questions they want to have it answered, utilizing certain frameworks and so on and so forth, right? Basically the strategy part. In our case, let's say a couple of business questions that we conducted with the executives were, let's say, what customer behaviors or characteristics predict churn, are there specific product features or usage patterns that are linked to churn, and so on and so forth. The second step is the key. Basically, you cannot achieve this without centralized source of truth, aka centralized data, aka you need to have scalable data stack, aka scalable data architecture. And how this works is very simple, right? Basically, if you don't know how this works, I'm going to link down below a video which you can check it up and you can utilize it and build this yourself right now. Of course, it's going to take time and expertise to do it, but you have the exact roadmap of how to do it. Basically, you need to be able to make, based of the previous few minutes that I talked about having the insights, you need to have data sources. Let's say in this example, You need to extract data from the data sources all across your organizations, from marketing, sales, product, finance, and so on and so forth. You cannot make a logical decision just by utilizing and seeing your product data. You cannot, as you've seen from the previous slides, right? You need to see everything cohesive in one specific view and how it translates to each other. We extract the data using ETLs. ETL is like extract, transform, and load. Either that's a Python script, custom, or it is off the shelf like Fivetran. If you utilize it, we transform the data, extract it, and load it inside of the data warehouse where it's ready to be modeled, right? If you have your product data, let's say your event data like your clicks, logs, and so on and so forth, you can utilize things like Segment or Kafka to extract that specific data and store it inside of the data warehouse. In the data warehouse, we model and transform the data into analytical type of data, so you're able to use data as an asset to be able to make a data-driven decision. Then in the data visualization layer, we basically visualize the data, you're able to use the data in your day-to-day, spot bottlenecks, gain insights, and so on and so forth, right? And basically, I'm gonna down below, I'm also gonna basically give you guys this mirror board where you can utilize to get the exact proven diagram that already works, tech stack, and the exact steps that you need to take to build this infrastructure for yourself, or you understand what tools, technologies you need for your current case, right? Basically, you can utilize this diagram to map out the vendors that you're going to utilize, the comparison between the vendors, and so on and so forth, the steps. And here's the exact proven already made data architecture. If you want to go from literally 0 to 1, you can implement it right now. It's proven to work. We implement it multiple times for the companies and clients. Of course, it depends on their custom goals and needs and priorities. You will need to conduct a certain audit to do that, but you can utilize these exact tools that are here already to achieve the end result that you want to achieve from this video, right? Now, in our case, we gathered the customer demographic data, subscription details, product usage details, support data, churn data. We remove the duplicates, we format it correctly, we make sure the data is accurate at 100%. Explore the data, we make sure to calculate certain metrics, we understand and get to know the data, to see some of the trends, some of the patterns that they might appear, and so on and so forth, right? Basically, we utilize certain frameworks, which is like, let's say, Y. Y framework. And what's that framework is basically you have 5 Y framework. You answer after each discovery, you answer why does this happen, why, and you basically just go more and more narrow until you uncover a true insight. Segment the data. We make sure the data is segmented by the product, in this case industry, title, and of course as well the region, aka geographical location, right? This is very important. Compare the groups between those two, aka let's say compare churn rates between subscription plans, usage levels, and so on and so forth, right? Yeah, let's say in this case, example of the inside customer in healthcare industry have 50% churn, then other industries do the low adoption rates and reporting features. That, when I say compare, that can be either from the success metrics that you have as an executive. Let's say you have, okay, if the churn rate or feature usage is about this, that means that this happened, or these actions we're gonna take. If it's below, that's bad because of X, Y, Z reason, right? And you're able to compare. Identify the anomalies, basically the outliers, the disruptive patterns that appear, that are in those disruptive patterns is where you can find your actionable insights. And answer specific questions, let's say the questions that we conducted in the specific data strategy assessment that they want to have it answered, right? Like what usage patterns correlate with churn, what customer segments are the most at risk, what interventions could reduce the churn, and so on and so forth. We visualize the data utilizing the BI, aka data analytics, business intelligence tools, Power BI, Tableau, and so on and so forth, creating analytical dashboards, etc. And of course, then we also create a report like this, in this case that I showcase you, for the executives, so they're able to understand and gain actionable insights to utilize and take action to solve and achieve their current goals, right? And these are the exact report, as I said, that we gave and provide with the company on a weekly, on a monthly basis, basically for them, and still currently do for many other companies. So basically this is it, and as you can see here, actionable insights are the things that you need to grow your company and to achieve the success. And if you want, our offer is to you, we will turn your raw data into actionable insights, right, to increase your profit, revenue, retention, decrease your churn, and so on and so forth, And we will implement custom data analytical infrastructure ecosystem, aka build custom analytical dashboards for each one of your executives, departments, so you're able to achieve and become a true data trading company, and gain an advantage in your current marketplace, right? And basically, we guarantee this by 100% adoption rates, increasing the data-driven decisions, see the insights that you couldn't see before, and of course, increasing the revenue, EBITDA, having insights that nobody else was aware of. And of course, if you're interested, you can book a call with our exploration team down below. I'm gonna link down a couple of other videos that will help you to achieve these exact results. And of course, you can catch us on YouTube and other media, aka social channels.